Never before in Wall Street history has so many people bet on a newly publicly traded company to fail. And Elon Musk has directly waged war against them. The story begins in June. SpaceX went public, the largest IPO in history. The stock started trading at $135, skyrocketed to $225 within days, and briefly surpassed $2 trillion in value. Everyone interpreted it as a victory. But then the tide turned. The stock began to fall, and within a month, it had nearly halved, falling back below its IPO price. It was during this decline that something quietly grew. A group of investors began betting that the stock would collapse further. A month earlier, the size of this bet was small, but it grew week by week, first doubling, then growing again, and eventually reaching a total of $25 billion. That's almost a third of SpaceX's publicly traded shares. Wall Street analysts described it as one of the largest counter bets ever seen against an IPO in history. Elon Musk didn't ignore this quiet growth. He addressed these investors directly on social media. "Companies that have bet heavily against me for a long time have a very low chance of survival," he said. He then added, "I said that if SpaceX achieves its goals, it will be worth more than the Earth itself." That's clearly true. This statement didn't go to waste. The stock rose 7% in a single day, ending a series of consecutive declines. But the real tension is just beginning. On August 4th, SpaceX will release its first publicly traded earnings report. This date wasn't chosen by chance, because on the same date, a portion of the locked shares held by insiders will begin to be released, up to approximately 900 million shares. So two things will hit the market simultaneously: the actual earnings figures and a possible new wave of share offerings. If the numbers are strong, the scenario could unfold as follows. Those who bet will be forced to hastily close their positions to stop losses, pushing the stock even higher. Musk would be proven right. But if the numbers turn out weak, the opposite will happen. The $25 billion bet will have won, and the stock could plummet. The opposing side's argument isn't entirely unfounded either. SpaceX is currently trading at more than 80 times its annual revenue, a level far exceeding what a company would normally achieve. Furthermore, the number of shares in circulation is already very small, leading to both extreme price volatility and the concentration of such a large bet in such a small segment. Here's an interesting detail. When the locked shares begin to be released, the total number of shares in circulation will increase. This is actually a relief for those who bet, because more shares make it easier to borrow and close positions. So there isn't as much of a cornered side as it seems. Both sides are holding their breath until August 4th. In conclusion, there are two sharply contrasting viewpoints. Musk, who says this company will change everything, and a cold, calculated $25 billion bet, who says the math doesn't allow it. August 4th will show which of these two sides was right, and that day will make a difference worth billions of dollars. Stay asset.